fiber to fabric. Watch it. My dear children of class 7, hello, how are you? Today I am with a new topic for you, fiber to fabric. So before going to the fiber to fabric in details, let me tell you about some introductory part of how fiber came into existence in human society and became a part of our life, and how do we use fiber to make fabric. So from the very beginning, about 1,000 years ago, when human beings were primitive, they used to live in caves and hunt animals. Even during that time, people had the need to cover their body with animal skin and leaves of the plants. Now, food, shelter and clothing. These three are the basic needs of every human being. All of us know. Now, clothing, which is a very important substance or object that we need to protect our body from heat, cold, dust and various other environmental factors. Now, clothing industry has given a variety of types of cloths. Now, what is actually fiber and fabric related to cloth? Let me describe that. Now, first let me describe what is a fiber. Fiber is nothing but a long thread, long continuous thread that are used to make fabric. Now, fiber are long threads that are from yarn. Now, what are yarn? Yarn are the long continuous threads that are directly woven to fabrics. So clear? So fiber is the long thread which is woven into fabric by the use of yarn. Now, fabric is the piece of cloth that is used to make stitched cloth for us. Now, here is the flow chart that I have tried to explain. This is a cotton ball, which is a plant fiber, which is used to make the thread, that is the yarn. That yarn is woven into cloth. So, this is the process by which we obtain fabric from fiber. Now, fibers are basically divided into two types based on the sources of the material used. Now, natural fiber and artificial fiber, or artificial fiber is also known as synthetic fiber. Now, natural fiber, the two sources of natural fiber are plant and animal. Now, animal fiber include wool and silk, and plant fiber include jute, cotton, hemp, flax, and there are so many other types of plant fibers. Now, synthetic fiber or artificial fibers are nylon, polyester, acrylic. There are so many types of artificial fibers. Now, artificial fibers are prepared in the factories by chemical components. There are another type of fibers which are named as semi-synthetic fiber. Semi-synthetic fiber is the type of fiber where the primary element is a natural fiber which is chemically treated in the factory to form the semi-synthetic fiber. So, rayon is a type of semi-synthetic fiber where the natural fiber is chemically treated with some chemical to form semi-synthetic fiber. Like that, artificial wool is also a semi-synthetic fiber. But this is not the point to discuss here in this topic. Today's topic is generally about the animal fiber in today's chapter of class 7, chapter 3, fiber to fabric. The two different animal fibers are wool and silk. Now let me describe about the wool and silk in detail. First we will study about wool, then we will study about silk. Now, as I told you about today's topic is wool and silk. So let me start with wool. What type of substance is wool? What is wool actually? Wool is the hair of the animal. Animal means which type of animal? Wool yielding animals. Now, what are these wool yielding animals? There are various types of wool yielding animals. Here I have listed some of them: llama, sheep, goat, Angora goat, alpaca, yak, Bactrian camel and Kashmiri goat. These are very common, well-known wool-yielding animals. Now, what type of fiber is wool? Wool is a natural animal fiber obtained from the hair of the wool-yielding animal. Now, what is the nature of the wool? Wool is proteinaceous in nature. That means wool is made up of protein. Hair is a type of protein. So, animal hair is the substance which is the source of wool. There is protein in nature. Now, what is the quality of wool? Wool is highly porous. So, these are the specific type of key points that you have to remember. Next comes the Indian sheep. Why I have highlighted here in sheep? Because we are studying the sheep in this content of today's video. Now, there are 6 important type of Indian sheep that are reared for wool. First is Bakarwal, second Lohi, third Nali, fourth Rampur Busher, fifth Patanwadi, and sixth Marwadi. Now let me tell you about each and every wool yielding sheep and what type of wool do they yield and in which state they are reared. Now first is Bakarwal. Bakarwal is mainly reared in Jammu and Kashmir. This type of sheep wool yield very good quality wool, mainly used for making woolen shawls. Next comes Lohi. Lohi is a sheep which is reared in Rajasthan and Punjab. It generally yield good quality wool. Next comes Nali. Nali is a breed of sheep which is reared in Rajasthan, Haryana and Punjab. This type of sheep yield carpet wool. Next comes Rampur Busher. Rampur Busher is reared in Uttar Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh. This type of sheep yield brown color fleece. And next comes the Patanwadi. Patanwadi is reared in Gujarat. This sheep yield generally wool which are used in hosiery industries. And last is Marwadi, which is also reared in Gujarat, and this wool is used for making coarse wool, for making carpets and all other items. So here I have used one term that is fleece. Now what is fleece actually? Fleece is the hair of the wool yielding animal along with the first layer of the skin. Now what is actually the process of taking this wool out of the animal body? What is the time when it is done? And what do you mean by selective breeding? That we are going to learn as the next topic. So here we are going to study what is fleece. Fleece is the hair of the wool yielding animal that is used to make woolen garments or woolen cloth. Now here we will learn one term called selective breeding. It is a process of selecting the parents of the wool yielding animal for obtaining a special character in their offspring. So what is the meaning? The meaning is, suppose you want a very good wool yielding sheep. For that you have to select which type of parents will this sheep have. That means the parents will also have the same characteristics that you want in the child sheep or the lamb. So that is selective breeding. So for that you have to search for a very good parent with healthy wool, fluffy wool, and that should have good quality. So you see, there are various steps which are involved in the wool processing industry. So here I have noted down all the process one by one. First is rearing and breeding. Now what do you mean by rearing and breeding? Rearing and breeding means here you want to get wool from the wool yielding animal. Especially we are talking about sheep here. So sheep, you know, they are herbivorous animals. They generally prefer leaves and grass. So here even you have to give some protein rich food to the sheep, including some corn, pulses, jowar and oil cake. Why we should give all this to the sheep? In order to give a healthy diet so that the wool that they yield will be shiny and curly. Okay, then come, I told you about selective breeding, that is about breeding part. So you have to select the good parents to get the good yield of the wool from the sheep that we want or we desire. Next come the second step, shearing. Shearing is the process of shaving off the sheep's body to obtain the fleece. So here during shearing, the thin layer of skin is also taken off along with the hair, but it is not harmful to the sheep because it does not cause any type of infection or any type of pain in the sheep. Now, in order to protect the sheep from infection, antiseptic solution is applied on the skin all over. Now come the washing and scouring. Now the sheared skin that is taken out from the body of the sheep is washed properly to remove the grease, dust and dirt. So this is done in machines nowadays. Previously it was done in tanks manually. Next comes sorting. Now the dried hair of different type of texture are there. So it is sorted so that the healthy one that we want, that is sorted out, and the small fluffy fibers called birds are picked out and they are sent for reprocessing. Next comes carding. In this process of carding, the selected curly wool fiber are straightened by passing rollers on it. Next comes dyeing. You see, generally the natural color of wool is black, brown and white. But in case of getting another color of wool, the wool fibers are generally dyed in different colors of your choice. Next comes spinning and weaving. This is the last part of wool processing. Here the long fibers are straightened, combed and rolled into yarn in order to get the fabric. So this yarn is taken to the wool processing industry where the yarns are woven into woolen cloth. So this is about the entire topic of wool and its processing. Next topic will be silk. So the next topic for today is silk. Silk is another animal fiber. The source of obtaining silk is silk moth. Now where do these silk moths live? The silk moth live in the mulberry leaves because they are fond of eating mulberry leaves. Now at which stage of the silk moth do we obtain the silk? That is the cocoon stage. So cocoon is the stage where we obtain the silk from. Now how does this silk moth give us silk and what is its life cycle? Let me describe. So you see here I have drawn two silk moths, one male and another female. Now these male and female silk moths, they mate with each other. The female lay eggs on the mulberry leaves. The eggs hatch into caterpillar, that is the larva. The caterpillar grows in size and starts eating lot of mulberry leaves. And soon the caterpillar completely covers itself by silk fibers which are given out from its mouth, which is very sticky. So this caterpillar or larva turns out is the total silk fiber around its body and completely cover itself to form a cocoon. So inside the cocoon the larva remains. Now near about many days this larva inside the cocoon, it matures and breaks off this cocoon shell and fly away. Now in the wool processing industry, this stage is used for making the silk before the animal or the moth flies away. Now you see, silk is a very important and luxurious fiber. You know, silk is very luxurious. It is expensive and it is used for making various types of silk cloth like sarees and different other silk cloth. Now you see, what are the steps of this silk processing. Now before going to that, I would like to tell you that in India, about 90% of the mulberry silk comes from the state of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. And the cocoon, which is formed of a single continuous thread, gives about 1.5 kilometer length of silk. So you can understand how long does a silk cocoon give the silk. Now there is a very interesting story behind this silk. How was it obtained? Now I hope you all know that silk was first discovered in China. Now how did it happen? Let me tell you the story about the discovery, which was very unknowingly it happened actually. So there was a old Chinese legend. According to that, at that time the Empress of China was Xi Longqi. Now she was asked by the Emperor Huangdi to find the cause why the leaves of the mulberry trees which were growing in their garden is being damaged. Now the Empress found some white worms which are living in these mulberry leaves and they are eating up the leaves. Now she also noticed that they were spinning some shiny cocoon around them. Now accidentally one day while they were sitting in their garden and having a sip of tea, so accidentally a cocoon dipped in her cup of tea and tangled and delicate thread separated from the cocoon. Now there comes the history of the discovery of silk. Now this silk industry of China remained hidden for hundreds of years because they kept it a secret. Now later on many traders, travelers, they came to India, and through India they went to China where they knew about the silk, and finally the route of travel from India to China became a silk route. So that you will study in history or you have already studied, I hope. So let me discuss about the steps of silk processing, which is the final topic of today's video. Now first, the eggs of this silk moth, the eggs are sorted by the silk moth farmers. Now these eggs are taken and they are kept on the bamboo trays. They are kept properly with proper hygiene is maintained, and under controlled temperature and humidity. When the caterpillar comes out or hatch out from the egg, they are kept transferred in another tray and they are fed with mulberry leaves. Now when the caterpillar go bigger and bigger, they are shifted to another tray where they spin cocoon. Now these cocoons, after spinning, they are sorted out and they are put in the boiling water. So when they are put in the boiling water, the silk threads get separated and several hot and cold treatments are given to the cocoon. And finally, when these silk threads come out, this process of separating the silk filament from the cocoon is called reeling of silk. So this result of the reeling of silk gives rise to the fiber, which is called the raw silk. The raw silk is generally of two colors, basically the off-white color, that is green color, and yellow color. These are the basic natural color of silk. But according to our choice, we can dye the silk thread and they are spun to the thread, and later this thread are woven to silk cloth. So this is about the entire process of silk processing. So hope you understood the topic of the animal fiber, fiber to fabric, silk and wool. So thank you for watching. Children, I hope you liked the video, you understood the topic. So I want a big like from you if you like the video, and stay tuned with my channel for my upcoming videos. Thank you for